So, welcome. It's Team Fortress TV. It's TurboTabs, and I'm not alone. I'm in the caster box with your very own Josh from TF2 Easy fame. Josh, say hello.
Good evening. It's nice to be back in the analyst seat, especially alongside you, my man.
Oh, you're too kind. You're too kind. But we're not alone. We've actually got a cast of the season to kind of like. Well, actually, we've got two casts. Oh man, we've got two casts of the seasons in this box, and I'm not one of them. It's Peter in here. He's doing production. He does it all. So big shout out to him, of course. All right, Josh. I've got your rivals here in the castered sort of monitor, I suppose, if we keep this metaphor going. It's Witness Gaming versus Garda Panteria. I'm going to mess that name up heavenly, so I hope you've been doing your research on how you're going to call them.
I'm just going to call them Garda. It's very nice and simple for me.
All right, so tell me about this Garda lineup. Is anybody actually kind of impressive in this lineup that people should take note of, Josh, before we go into the games tonight?
I'm going to sound horrible here, and I'm going to say no.
Oh, come on.
Like,
what about Mankey?
So the soldiers have played together for a long time. And you'd think when soldiers have played together for a long time, you think there's going to be like an unbelievably high level of synergy where the bombs are like, where they don't even have to communicate with what they're doing. They're just that in sync with each other. But when I witness these players going at each other, I don't see it. I never get that vibe compared to like other soldier duos that you would see at this top level of Prem. Mainly the two blue soldiers right now, because they have that level of synergy where they will go in with each other, do a billion damage, get out alive, and the team can just win the round off everything that they do. But Mankey and Bud played together for that long, and I've played against them, and I've never seen that happen, and I've never felt like their presence.
Let me twist your arm a little bit then. What if I told you that Garda beat Flick's team, TLR, in week 1?
Were the maps any similar to this?
I think it was Gully Wash Snakewater. So no cough.
Sunshine can play a little similar to Gully in that it can be a very fast-paced map.
But yeah, they were doing very ambitious sort of little sort of plays. Speaking of ambitious, we've got Witness Gaming here. They're sinking into the bottom of the table, Josh. I can't believe it. The poor lads lost their first game of week 1 against Mandem, and now they have to climb all the way back. As you know, does that sort of loss during an ETF2L season like rattle a team at this level? You should probably know. You've been at the top level like this. He's gone. He's flabbergasted. He could not hear this news. So it's okay. While Josh tries to compose himself, we're going straight into the game. It's our first map of this week 2 of our summer season of ETF2L. It's Bagel, ladies and gentlemen. Witness Gaming versus Garda. And first thing I'm seeing on mid, whole lot of nothing. Nothing's happening. Nobody's jumping. Nobody's. They're just giving evil eye to each other right now. So just kind of waiting out, whistling for the winds of just any sort of roamer jumping in. Initial damage coming out from Doma will kind of lay cake over to that poor scout. I think that's a Kilza. We'll figure it out on the way. Kills us. Okay, as my producer tells me. Thank you, Vita. All right, so they are still holding strong on this mid, despite a little bit of hiccup on the thing. They do force out Corndog, however, and with the first Uber charge out of these two teams, it's got to be curtains for this mid. So they are not lost any players, though, however, on Garda, so this is going to be good news for them. They can still contest this, but time is a-ticking here in this King of the Hill, and the Kings are still going Witness. They will decide to push across now. They go for Mendex and then start to follow up. But, actually a nice sort of collapse and a sort of turnabout kills from the flank of Garda. And they're trying to drop the pins now. Finally, maybe getting this final kill on Salentes. Ixie will be a thorn in their side and even go behind to kind of make it not really a clean sort of wipe against Witness Gaming. Pappy throws themselves in. Can't quite get the finish, however, onto Corndog, his old compadre. It's got a sting. He's back, Josh.
I have returned just in time to see a nice little play coming out from Garda, getting the flank onto Witness, catching the combo out, the pants down, and getting a good few kills. Now for full Uber, and Condog's in point, ready to move across. They're going easy, all in for the auto kill. Now let's see if they actually suffer with the collapse from Witness. They're not going to take this one sitting down, but it's very weak already. I don't think this is going to work. Domo's already too weak. They're just going to reset.
I like that style. You use you see medic, you use Uber, you get medic, and then you get out, you get back, and they just deal with that obvious counter aggression that's going to come out from Witness Gaming. And they're starting off quite strong here over on Garda. Do you think Witness Gaming would bother them at all at this point, or do you think it doesn't really matter?
This is where Witness are in their element though. When Ubers are out of play, they take such more aggressive fights. Like the flank that's happening in the fight that's happening in the house already. Pappy picks up one and J's for it, but they've already captured 3 more outs on the point because they took the house control so early. Like, this is where Witness want you to actually play into their hands when they don't have the Uber. They're really good off Uber. Ixie and Pappy pushed the house onto, I think it was Mankey by himself. By the time Mankey had died, he had done some damage, but no one was in a position from Garda to help him because Bud was too weak from Silentis pushing the other house, and Domo just walked across point. Nice and simple play from Witness.
Yeah, the only thing they had to count on was Bud going in from behind, but that held no fruit at all. Bud is going to go in now, this time right on top of Auto, does launch him and gets the Uber Force out. So that is good news for Garda for this upcoming push. They're going to have a little bit of advantage going into this, and it'll be interesting to see where Witness will hold. Will they still hold close, or will they kind of play a bit back here on this Bagel?
No, you would still hold forward despite having the Uber disadvantage because they know Condog's not going to have built that well and not have it yet. And there's a lot of, they're already aggressive in the house with Pappy and Sil. No one's actually gone house from Garda, and they've given up a lot of ground. Sil can get an easy flank, but Pappy's left him alone and he gets picked up. Ooh, a little bit of miscommunication there, but Pappy's got a big flank and he trades at least.
Yeah, and surely they're aware of Pappy at this point, and they're a little bit aware that I'm not too sure whether or not they should just keep pushing forward or deal with that Pappy kill. A pause comes out for us.
Looks like a pause.
Yeah.
Right, I don't understand the logic of Bud right now. Bud has gone back to the doorway where Pappy has been standing on this health pack for the last 25 seconds. And instead of peeking the doorway and just getting the easiest kill of his life, he keeps walking away. And then Mankey calls that Pappy's still there, and Bud goes back, and instead of peeking the door, he just walks away again.
Oh, it's...
They've not isolated this one kill that's causing them to lose so much time on this point. Like, the Uber ad has already dwindled.
It's the TF2 programming, Josh. You know, when you're like, oh, but I've got an Uber advantage. We should be pushing with the Uber. But there's a player behind. But the Uber, the player, the Uber. And they keep flicking back and forth.
I think they've just done a repause there really quick, so... But, this position right now, Mankey's got low ground, Pappy's got full HP, Mankey's got even less HP, and he's low ground, Bud's not in a position to help him, and KLSE is dead, so Mankey's just in no man's land, and the rest of Garda don't look like they know what they're doing.
So do you think that's a trade that they should do? Do they think it would be better to just delay this sort of Uber advantage and get the guaranteed Pappy kill, or do you think they should just maybe ignore Pappy entirely? Oh, they've decided to do both.
Pappy's just going to live. He's just got the escape plan out and ran away and got health packs. And meantime, Condog's used his Uber, lost full advantage. Auto's gone barreling forward with his combo to catch any players that they can. And that's 2 picks already, 3 picks. And Condog did die as well in that trade. Auto, nice surf, but he does get cleaned up by Mankey. That was unlucky from Auto.
Oh, actually, Scout, last stand, still alive. Might get the Domo kill, does manage to keep himself alive. And yeah, that was just a tale of 2 sort of choices. And sadly, they just couldn't choose on one. And during all of that, they just clean up a nice, easy round for Witness Gaming.
I mean, it's just big miscommunication. Like, sure, you can mistime a bomb with 2 soldiers and that's fine, but you cannot just leave your one soldier to deal with a guy in house who has the health pack advantage and the height advantage by himself. It just doesn't work. It's really bad TF2.
Well, they started off well on Garda. Maybe they just need to shake it off here. A bit of tremors from the Witness Gaming lineup, but they've been scrimming decently well on Bagel, I hear, from both squads, so maybe the news is still out. It's just merely a round after all, but the flank Tomas and Silentes pushed them out of that little house for now to kind of give a little bit of grounding. But no kills ring out. Actually, I've been lying. Silentes does get the kill onto Bud, and that's surely where the dominoes start falling.
The house control from Witness is just so much stronger. And Condog kill binded. I
What?
don't know how.
I guess.
It
I
looks
guess
like
that
he
was the
might have.
pause.
He
Yeah.
must have been during the pause because he bid farewell crew worlds, so I don't know what caused that. But now they just opened the forward hold straight up for Witness. They know they're not going to use this uber aggressively. They're just going to get a really good hold on the doors and lock down the house and lock down the bottom left.
Yeah, they're just completely foregoing that lobby area, it seems. Oh, wait, no, they're humouring it slightly, but I don't think they really want to push it with these two soldiers. They're trying to throw it in. Poor Bud, I mean, if you can call that a throw, it was like he was kind of being tossed away, as Mankey will also get cleaned up in the house area. And, I mean, can you call this a suicide wave? It's more like a suicide gush.
Is trying to get in, but they're not like committing to anything. And the synergy from Witness is just taking it. The synergy just shows. Both scouts went into Bud's face before Shappy could even get out of the door, and no one was there to follow him up. They've taken the house control, but they've already lost Mankey, and they're so weak on Garda. They just can't bust through these doors against two soldiers. Bottom right's the play that you go for. Bud gets in the free bomb, but goes for an air shot on the scout instead of trying to actually land direct headshot rockets on the medic. So just a wasted bomb, wasted rockets, wasted life, and that's another 15 seconds off the clock while they wait for him to spawn. Just awful decision making.
Yeah, it looks like they really wanted to bust through the house area with everybody involved. It did cost them one player, but you're right, that one person they managed to inch in, he just didn't have his priority set. They decided to exchange Ubers instead. Pappy looks like he's got a much better Uber, and he's trying to chase out Corndog perhaps. He's going to get a nice healthy amount of damage in. He cleans up not only Corndog, but Shappy on the demo man as well, threatening the life of this lowly scout left over. But in the meantime, the flank, I wish I could say they were doing wonders, but they're not over on poor Garda. They're just tatters all over this map.
That was always going to be a losing fight. Pappy's just running in. Pappy didn't even have auto on him for the tail end of that. Also was running away. Like Pappy saw, like given the right timing. But the Ubers aren't in play anymore, so maybe Garda might have be able to get a little bit more aggressive now. Bud's already down to 10 HP. Mankey's in on the flank, but they're not isolating Thomas. He's just on the floor. He was 40 HP on the floor. They're just not shooting the right people. They're just such bad focus fire, and they're just getting run around the map. They're ringed around the rosy. Only Pappy dies. Witness still putting a big fight out on point. They've almost got it down to overtime as well. And Thomas is looking to take this Uber over. They've got advantage.
Salenta's kind of blindsided a little bit by the flank. Didn't expect them to push into the house during this time. Felt fortunate Pappy kind of gifted a kill earlier, and they will use a solo Uber on Thomas now to force it out of Corndog. But what's the plan after this? I mean, they do push it into overtime now with said Uber, so it will make things a bit kind of awkward for Garda. They can't give up this point whatsoever now from henceforth.
I mean, you're still in the perfect position if you Witness. No Ubers are in play again. We saw what happened last time. They took the house control, crushed the flank. Selector's going in for a chaos bomb. Uses the roof to survive himself. The flank is really weak on Garda already, and Pappy's isolating them out of the house completely. Half cap time already. Ixie does die on the flank though. The focus fire's there, but Silentis is in behind with a big bomb. He's done so much damage, and they just clean up off on the Sill bomb. What a lovely flank from Sill. Dropped about a 400 damage nuke behind onto the combo. Domo walks over with Thomas, and it's just easy again.
They had Silentis up behind for a hot second, and I'm surprised they didn't want to go aggressive with Silentis going behind. It's almost like a man down for a little small period, but it's scary, you know, going into the without your Uber and all this against Witness as well. But there's 2 rounds. It's still possible, you know, in a very hopeful world that they can make a comeback.
It definitely is possible, but they just need to start trying to play the game that they can play, because right now you're just they're stuck in Witness's land, and Witness they've just been bullied back into a corner. They give up the far house for free. The flank's already busted through. They've isolated Salentes, but they're still bullied into a corner. They've got all the cap time in the world. Bud's just trying to block, but gets isolated. But they just trade for Pappy.
Oh no!
But Mankey goes a bit too deep on the flank again. And KLSE's tried to go in on the flank solo. He's just not going to survive. But he's actually split the focus, and he gets the pill onto Ixie. That's a really good flank play. It was questionable from Witness. They normally are very quick on cleaning up people behind, and instead they go for a really bad trade. They put Conduct down to 20 HP, but they've got a scout advantage pick now, so it's a really good fight. Celentis also
Oh.
dies on the flank. They're picking up nice little picks. Thomas trades out. They need to focus Thomas down. Beautiful from KLSC. They're actually starting to play it a little bit better now. They're isolating the players who are putting themselves in bad position from Witness. It's good.
Damn, that one scout, that Turkish player just kind of farming and putting the world on his back there. I thought they would kind of re-link with him, but they just let Rambo just behind enemy lines and just let him deal with it on his own. And he managed to link back and punish Celentes on the flank. It's a shame they don't really want to contest this point too much, it seems. They just want to play these houses, get the picks off. And, I mean, it's working. They will clap for a mere moment over on Witness, but if it wasn't for Domo equalising with a couple of pipe kills, I wonder if they could hold on to this.
They got the cap as well, but the bud's really, really low, and they've also delayed their flank spawn. Witness will know this, and this is trade city for Thomas if he does have to get forced. But no, the spam is so much better from Domo and Papi, and they get a much better Uber out. 50% Uber plus more. They're bullying them out into the doorways already, and then they can take the ground.
Well, they managed to reset at least. They didn't lose anybody during all of this. And Celentis goes down again on this flank. Ixie again, a mere match of what happened 30 seconds ago. But can they follow up correctly this time? Bud decides to go behind.
But behind he gets that. Oh, no, he does get the pick on top. Papi, and he lives as well. But Mankey's too aggressive again. That's a couple of times he's been getting caught out, but like they have the advantage with the plays, but they need to control against a team like Witness. It's one step too far.
They're in for free. Nobody's there to contest them on this point. Maybe just trying to inch them and bait them on and see if they can get some free damage in. And
so that's behind again.
Domo has gone down during all this though, Josh. If they can reset here, they can more than likely hold on to this point. Papi just kind of cheekily comes in and kills a weak scout on point and might even get out to tell the tale.
A lovely arrow from Otto. Papi's already back to 200. He's going straight back in. He wants more. He gets the cap as well with his rocket jump while he was jumping into the house. He capped it mid-rocket jump.
Wow,
no way! I'd be tilted if I was Garda right now, because they're not even trying to get the recap, and Thomas knows he can get a really good trade on point right now. But they've given up house control again. Papi and Ixie are taking so much space on the flank. They've got such better map presence.
Oh, Thomas, he's dodging a lot of sort of pressure. And actually will get the kill onto Mankey, who was trying to pressure out Thomas, and now the house will fall because of it. Ubers get exchanged out, and it should be an easy sort of play for Witness to play once they get back into their own corner. Corndog is in absolute no man's land, and the rest of his team are going to fall without that sort of medical presence and that sort of bait trap.
Oh my god, okay, let's see. The huge flank that so just catching them blissfully unaware. And Mankey getting a nice little pick onto Domo. Any kill is actually good in this situation. Especially a Domo pick is really good. Oh, Thomas is hiding in the left house though. He's started doing this a lot now when his medic dies and no one's aware. Gets him behind. Bud catches him. It's a good spot from Bud. Well played.
Yeah, it's just a real shame about Auto dying towards the end. As oh, okay, so we're making pushes back in. They should have Uber charge. I'm not sure if they they don't have it quite built just yet, but they should have it soon. So Witness Gaming should be kind of sheepish almost, but they still want to take this sort of a level fight. Auto is on panic mode. He really does not want to come out. He will commit in with the rest of his team now, but they should see Auto and they should take this Uber.
Nice sticky trap kills from Shappy on the point. He caught still and Thomas napping. No one checked for the traps. Conduct still has a big Uber ad to play with, and the clock's ticking down quite nicely right now if you're Garda. They're playing this really well, holding the Uber for as long as possible. They're trying to run down the clock to at least overtime. Like, if you're Garda right now, that is what you want. You want to push it into overtime, so then if Witness do recap, you don't have to try and like hold the point after a recap.
Thomas is weak. Nobody's really supporting him. It actually manages to toe the line enough and does not go down. But instead, Papi will go down in this house area. They commit to the fight. The Thomas solo Uber, and there's a lot of multi-in coming out. Corndog feels more than confident that the post-Uber fight is going to go their way. He's holding his ground, but the flankers kind of got a bit sticky from the rest of Paul Gardner as they have to deal with Ixie and Papi. They will manage to trade out some players, and during all this, the time is ticking, like you said, so maybe this is more than confident enough for Garda.
Shappy picked up another 2 kills there in this last fight. Again, they're buying as much time as they can, but the spawn advantage is definitely there for Witness right now. Thomas is back with 185, and we know what Thomas is like. Once he gets smells for blood, Conduct lives just about. Salentas did catch him napping there in the main, but just lives now. Equilubers again, but they did get it to overtime. So if you're in Garda's position right now, you're not too worried. KLSE just gets 2 shot by Ixie on the flank, absolutely destroyed. Ideally, you want to do what they've been doing so far this round, which is get the trade out on point and try to get a chaos fight afterwards, but without abusing your flank too much before the Uberfoot goes out. But they're just getting bullied into the corner again. They give up this right house all the time. Pappy is abusing it so much. Like, they're just sharing all the same damage. It's so bad.
Alright, here comes the Uber. So they go right on top of Auto. He's going to respond in kind now. And now let's see who can have a better trading match here between all these teams. Bud is going to immediately go and feed, not really doing anything with his life. So this is kind of hard. Pappy does go down, though, from a trap of hanging about on point. They can collect themselves, just find the easy frags. Oh, there was a flank from Salentas during all of this. And that might spell curtains for this sort of pushback from Garda. And I think it's going to be a clean round. They have to go for one last Hail Mary, and she's just not singing hard enough. Bud is just coming in. I want to have 1 more second on the point. And there we go. That's got to be it.
Swans do not get there in time, and that is a trio, which I know we didn't really get to do predictions, but I would have predicted this is the scoreline anyway. However, that last round, though, that was definitely like good signs from Garda. They were playing the game much better. They were realizing who was isolating themselves from Witness in a position where they couldn't get any support from Tomas or Domo, and that was Ixie, Sil, and Pappy, like just sort of trying to take the space that they were given for free, but then being punished very quickly, and they were making really good use of that during the round. But they also played against themselves because their game plan shifted. The game plan shifted so badly because Bud and Mankey, instead of trying to split the house control like you would do, like Sil and Pappy were doing, they decided to just dominate one house themselves. But in doing that, you forced Condog into having to try to heal 2 soldiers instead of telling the soldiers to go away and get health packs, which ultimately removes heals from Shappy. So Shappy can't fight the point, and then you get bullied into a corner because everyone's too low to fight fight on point. So although they were actually actively thinking, the active thinking they did was not good in the grand scheme of things and for their own gameplay.
I mean, I know you don't really care for like what that core is, the strategy, but I liked a little bit of it. It just didn't feel like it ebbed and flowed perfectly as it could have gone. Like I like the little sort of biting method where they just kind of clump up together and they don't really have to spread evenly their soldiers and all this, and just try and focus, because those are the times where you see them with these little advantages, like Salentas getting picked off or a house just being like ruptured on, and they lose Ixie and Salentas, and they just take the fight from there. I feel like that's much more achievable against a team like Witness than just trying to play them at their own game. And I think they realised that in that last round. But then, like, I feel like the pressure was kind of increasing on this cooker a bit. And the times where you were like, they were winning, they were like, oh, Christ, we're winning. Christ, let's just not do anything. Let's just not do anything and risk anything, which is a risk in of itself.
I do agree with that. Like, pressure is obviously a thing against Witness because you know what they're going to bring to the game when you go up against them. But another problem is Witness are one of the best teams you will go up against in terms of adaptation. Now, Garda, it took them 2 rounds before they actually adapted a bit to Witness's game and started to try something different. It took Witness, I'd say, approximately 2.5 minutes before they realized what was going on from Garda's new game plan. And you saw that with the house control that they were taking. Like, Pappy didn't have to bomb, Sil didn't have to bomb. All they had to do was spam. And that won the map. Well, then that wasn't the sole winning factor, but it's a huge advantage when your soldier can literally sit across the map, spam directs across the map, and he knows he's going to hit 48 damage rockets across the map.
Let's turn to a more personal note here, Josh. Let's start picking on some players. You know, let's do what you do best. And I've got a target for you. This Mankey guy, kind of overextended for my liking. I feel like if what the bits I liked were being kind of pitted against Mankey, just going a bit too far, or just kind of thinking like, oh, Bud's in there, I'm coming to save you, and then he dies, and Bud is the one that gets out.
Oh yeah, that was it. I'd say in that last round and the round before that, that was definitely a factor because you're not in Koth. If it was 5 CP, it'd be a bit more different because you can reset a little bit to go back to like a midpoint or the second point and get a good hold up, and you can work around having one man down for a disad hold. But you can't do that on Koth because there's so much more doorways and it's so much quicker to use the map to your advantage. Like Witness are a team when they have an advantage, they will steamroll it. Mankey giving his life away in shit moments is pretty much the nail in the coffin for Garda.
Hmm.
And the way he just needs to control his W key a little bit against a team like Witness. You know, they've not been in Prem for a while. I think they've been playing Div 1/2 for a couple of seasons. You know,
Hmm.
maybe they're not used to the ebb and flow of Prem again. Like maybe they've just been abusing lower skill teams, just having a bit of fun, you know, off classing. But now that you're back in, you're back in the big leagues now, so you've got to actually really switch on your brain about what you're doing.
Well, it's interesting. I think I'm doing Mankey a bit of a disservice just because I feel like their King of the Hill strategy, or at least what we saw in that last map, maybe just because it's the witness factor, it's very different to their 5 CP. I'm hoping to see a bit of that sort of like, it's almost like brainless aggression from Garda coming into their 5 CPs, because it does really catch teams off guard and they do benefit from it really greatly, and they don't push for no reason whatsoever. It's actually quite calculated and clever. So hopefully they'll redeem themselves on this next map that we're covering now.
Shappy was much faster to mid, and he's really he's put a lot of pressure into Domo already. And auto dies from a lovely Condog arrow across the map. But Silentus has landed in behind Condog from a good bomb from Cafe, isolates the medic, and now it's just a chaos fight. But you're in Witness territory when it comes to chaos. Let's see if Garda's focus fire is any better than Witness's. 2 scouts versus 1 scout. 2 scouts windy. These factors really. But you got Silentus with a big flank again. Second flank of the mid, gets another pick, but he does die to Shappy.
Oh, okay.
This is still fightable if you're Garda. But Shappy needs to get himself in, he can't be baiting Menix.
I think Auto should be getting into the fight a bit sooner than Corndog, so they should have the heals a bit sooner, but they just give it up. And actually, no, they all get involved and then they're re-entering the fight. That's smart. So now Corndog's really there. So I guess I hope you like mid fights, Josh, because we're getting a second one.
There's round 2, but they've just gone too quick again. Like they've seen a moment and thought it was right, but like Bud did a fast roll. Silentus on a big chase actually, and Menix gets arrowed across the map this time. And Condog dies to Silentus flanking again. 2 deaths in 2 minutes. So if you read medic, mid cap is already almost done for Witness. Full out is going to be there for the last push. Second point is going to be capped. They're going to wait for Domo and just execute a normal last push. It's just a shame that I respect the fight from Garda going for that second mid fight, but they executed it so wrong. Like Bud just went way too aggressive, got absolutely dominated by Ixie, and now they've just he gave away his life too quick before Shappy was even in, and now their last push is coming in.
Domo get pushed off slightly during this Uber, bit of a hiccup, but no sweat, no problem. There's no sentry gun, nothing to really sort off the initial fight of it. They will clean up Bud. Starting off things. Both soldiers taken out of the equation. There's a fat man kind of on the point here, drawing some fire, but he's got no presence on the point, and thus they will just cap it out.
I understand why the heavy had to go behind the point there, just because he's low, but you can't really make it look like you're low. You have to just stay forward and like,
act big.
Yeah, you got to act as big as you look. So, but
that's some classic TF2. That is, you are strong. 2 HP, you are strong. Hell faking.
Shappy's faster again. And isolated. Domo has to jump into mid from Flowers. They could be exploiting this so much more. Bud's going in for a bomb. Doesn't land in. KLSC gets picked up as Puppy will flank again. And Silentus with a huge follow-up. Oh, this is what I mean. This is soldier synergy. And only the flank dies for Witness on the mid. What a lovely mid.
Must be nice if you're Domo and Auto. Just kind of have to sit back and just watch the dogs feast.
Domo isn't really even having any impact on these middles.
Yeah, exactly.
But this is the good thing from Domo. Like he's read the game again. Like he's realized all he has to do is just be a presence. He doesn't have to be doing 400 damage on the mid. He just has to be that distraction factor. because they're putting so much pressure onto him at the start, they're not even checking, like counting how many soldiers there are. So Silentis has done the same flank bomb twice and got 2. First mid he got 1 kill, and then this mid he gets 4 kills.
Alright, Uber in, Domo first, sentry gun taken out by the squad. They've already got somebody capping off point. Nobody's there to actually block it. They just kind of gifted for 3 over to Witness Gaming. 2-0, clean.
This is looking over. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie. The mental, I think, from Garda just doesn't seem to be there. They're not even like Shappy's like so much faster to these mids as well, but they don't seem to be trying to take advantage of it. Like there's no, they could do, if he knew how fast he was, they could do double fast soldiers.
Yeah, I think he gets too preoccupied a bit with Domo and maybe just let the rest of your team fight him if he has to jump into mid to get past your sticky. But they decide to shake it up a bit. They've rotated round to the other corner this time and maybe support that flank a bit more in their crusades. But this does kind of seem like an all-in because look at Corndog now. He's in blue territory, Josh.
And Mankey gets caught in no man's land, but they did the same again. That's the 3rd mid in a row. Silentis has gone cafe. Nobody has did soldiers. Nobody's even checked like the cafe. Like they tried to do us.
Well, they're avoiding cafe. They're going to the other side.
Yeah, but they're trying to do a more methodical mid this time. But then not one person has adapted to what Silentis is doing.
And oh my God! They're actually saving Private Corndog. We need to get back. And they're taking the long way round. Ixie's there though. They're taking the basement out. They've managed to get back.
Oh, they've switched off the off classes from last as well. They're going to execute a push out now with the demo advantage pick that they have. So, but I don't know if they know how to push out. Bud's already been destroyed at the door by Silentes, and Pappy and Still have
they've been called to go back.
Door, and the push is over.
Yeah, I guess they just realised that they're not giving them the doorways for free, at least not the ones that they've chosen. So, with this game, they're going to take lobby control back.
I respect the intent though. That was a good read of the situation. Demo pick with Silentis is in with a free bomb. Just
that was close.
If that wasn't a single sack, Condog dies there. Down to 20 HP, and Bud with a big flank into the lobby. I mean,
Domo pick, is that enough though? They're just pushing with Mankey, but I think with Mankey going down, I don't think they'll keep pressing this now. Tomas goes down, trying to do some shenanigans at last. They didn't see the sentry gun in this really weird spot.
I don't really understand. It just looks like chaos right now. Why has Shappy got him from lower and fed his life away as a demo? And also with a cheeky BM. But now it just looks like they're turbo feeding. Your demo and your NG has fed their life away. There's no sniper in play to shoot them at the doors. The gun's gonna. They get forced in the doorway though. Also gets put down to 50, but they get 2 picks for it and the gun. And now you're still in Witness's territory again.
I mean, so they pop nice and early just to keep that presence on point. But look at the vultures of Witness Gaming circling their prey. They've got stickies on the point more than poor Garda do, and that's a 3rd round for Witness Gaming. That's a statement. It seems from their week 1 sort of fumble. Week 2 is in the bag.
It just, yeah, I mean, Garda kind of gifted it to them. Why you would feed away your demo and your NG when you're holding last is beyond me. I don't know, maybe it works in Div 2, but it doesn't work here.
Damn, Headmaster Josh is not pleased, but let's see. You know, it's another mid. There's 22 minutes left. Maybe they can just shake off the dust here. It's a lot of dust, but still has some time as they're going to throw Mankey pie high in the sky, linking up with Bud a bit better, and they're keeping their chips a bit more survived this time around. And Silentes much more controlled. And now they just have to deal with the rest of this aggression players. Pappy comes around the corner, he gets minced, but they call in the rest of the troops. Everyone's taking so much damage, and Domo even gets the kill onto Klaz, that scout. Kills. It's a hard name. Why do we hate vowels so much in other countries?
That was a much better mid from Garda. They actually took some more initiative, executed a really good double bomb. One soldier landed in, one soldier distracted, one soldier landed. They got the auto pick very early, but Silentes, again, the 4th mid in a row, did the exact same bomb and landed on the combo, pulled them all back into flowers, which opened up the mid for the rest of the DM classes on Witness. Pappy got a huge flank, put everything down to 10 HP, and Thomas and Domo just came in and cleaned everything up. It's not going to work, cannot adapt to a single roamer doing the same bomb every single time.
I mean, it was a little better. A little tiny better, you know? I mean, at least it survived. Anyway, they've got Uber chargers both sort of ready for both of these teams. Witness Gaming, pretty in, all things considered. They find and isolate the straggler, that is Bud, just holding off too far, and now Shappy's next one on the chopping block. Everyone just focusing this ball, man. And they've had enough. Garda
They've just been bullied out completely.
Oh no,
Menix
is like, no, I want to stay. Condog's like, I'm with you, brother. We're going, we're staying in. It's a kind of topsy-turvy, a bait almost. Like, oh no, call an ambulance, but not for me. As they come back into the fight, they're committing and collapsing on the rest of these players. Witness Gaming don't know what's happened. It was a Trojan horse here, John.
That was very impressive, actually. I was really surprised they actually went that play because of how much pressure they were being.
That's what I'm talking about. This is the sort of like clever little push-outs they do in like this aggressive play.
Now
they just need to do it like 7 times
coming
in a
back
row.
in. Witness are turning the tables now because Garda were not ready for this. Every door was wide open. Silentus is in behind again. Silentus has got a huge flank right now if he times it well enough. Doesn't catch anybody, but they do pick up Shappy and Menix with the combo. And now Witness to return the favour. Also, Mankey, no! He didn't know who he was going for. He hit the first rocket onto auto, put him down to 90 HP, but he turned around to shoot Domo. Oh, that's so unfortunate.
They're still going with this, you know. They've got nothing set up for last, really. They bring out a heavy weapons guy, and it's managing to kind of kite Witness Gaming from pushing any further, so it will call them for now. But the flank is kind of Xy's kind of left a little bit alone on his own. He calls in his soldier brethren. He's still alive, but he will actually join the rest of his soldier brethren in the grave.
The pressure from Witness on these plays is so good. They're so methodical about everything, every doorway they take it. It's always at the certain timing when a situation sort of presents itself to go in on these moments. But Thomas doesn't want to give up this point, and he's bullying the soldiers out really well. Well, Domo's spamming the points of the combo. Red players are really weak.
Ooh.
Thomas gets forced though, but this Uber's still looking better for Witness.
Thomas is trying to find somebody. He's found Bud in his sight lines. Oh, it does get a nice little buff, but Domo wants to come back and fight. Fortunate sort of health packs and timings from these players, and Pappy will, I get, you know, one constellation, small constellation prize, and I think that's just a bit of greed coming out from Witness Gaming there.
I mean, it's Menix's world and we're living in it. He isolated 3 picks. He mirrored Thomas's Uber really well by going for the players that wanted to come in from Witness and just got 3 picks in quick succession. Thomas couldn't achieve the same result, and now possible momentum shift, although both medics survived, so it's still going to be equal Ubers. But this is good again. At least we're seeing a bit more life from Garda. It's not going to be a steamroll now.
It's the final act of the Matrix here, Josh. It's Neo, he's starting to believe, and he's starting to believe, and they're actually going into more of their sort of shenanigans that they're used to doing, but it's just the connecting parts. Once they kind of make these massive fantastic plays, they're so busy high-fiving each other on mid, they're like, oh yeah, these doorways need looking at.
It was just a perfect pants down opportunity. Like, Witness knew. I think they went off the fact that there was like a huge number on the point when they were capping, like ×7. They knew that the doors weren't going to be watched. The flanks tried to go in behind, but KLSE is already down to 10 HP. Mankey might trade with Sil. Oh, that's unfortunate. But Thomas is already on the hunt. He's already bullying Bud into his own choke right now, and he's got in for free because there was no stings in play. Bud's lost all his ammo. Sil's in on the flank, but Sil dies with the trap. What a good trap from Shappy.
No, the holding this.
No.
Oh no. Corndog, not like this. Oh, he drops his poor aggressive scout, and now they're going to commit with their own Uber charge, and all those respawns they're going to have don't really matter. Shappy comes back just to go down again.
That's such a shame, man. That play, Menix dying is the. Obviously, we can't predict how it would have gone if Menix was alive, but Menix is a powerhouse of this team at the minute. So, but Condog's caught in no man's land. Anger's caught in the doorway.
Oh no! Well,
that was unbelievably unaware moment from like Garda. Like, they were 3 up and they just decided to sit on the floor in front of the door. instead of trying to get on at least the high
Ooh,
ground. But the
kills
sniper pick
us.
onto Thomas, which is actually probably the best pick, well, second best pick after Auto in this moment.
Yeah, and they've decided instead of throwing people to the wolves and trying to get a med pick there, they just go back, build a sentry gun, get a sniper, get all these things that could just delaying and just crossfire with the rest of this witness gaming lot. But they've got an overcharge. They still have plans for this last point. They actually get a free hood kill going into this. You need every man on deck. If you're dealing with this last point, the sentry gun has been taken off of deck, and they've got Ixie already capping off that point. I think they might have to gift it. Oh, actually, Menix will be the one to kind of push somebody off, but nobody else wants to commit in. I see no soldiers. I see nobody on point.
I mean, there was no chance. No chance Mankey was going to be able to do anything there. I think he got bullied out straight away because his second soldier was already dead before the push even came in. Just, yeah. That the second your soldier goes down on that, it's already over. So.
Well. It's 15 minutes left and it's 4-0 already. There must be a hot date tonight on Witness Gaming, and they've got to go there fast. As they will get a kill onto Thomas. That's a nice sort of way to start off the mid, in all honesty. But let's see what Silentes can pull off here. We'll get the pick onto the medic.
Man. That is actually infuriating. I'm tilted right now. Nice shot from Pappy to isolate Mankey on the flank and also lives.
Double scout round the corner.
He's also going to get forced.
They could maybe kill both of these medics. Oh no, Thomas comes back. The initial kill to kind of get Garda going on this mid does come back now and kind of lay the
It's
coffin.
actually so infuriating. I'm tilted and I'm not even playing on Garda's team, man. Because that mid, the execution, beautiful. You know, Shappy fast with the demo pick, two soldiers fast, but beautiful rockets onto Thomas. They've won the mid if they just look around the damn map. Like, Silentes just waddled in from Cafe and just bombed across the point and just killed Condor for free because no one has eyes on Garda. It's ridiculous. Like, they're just all blind, man. He doesn't have an invisibility cloak. Like, he's not even hiding behind the Tetris.
And he's been doing it all game as well. It's like, oh man, how do we know? How could we have possibly seen this coming? Nobody does this 5 times to Garda and gets away with it.
But they know they've got Uberan, but they're so slow with taking it, and Otto's already up to 85, and Bud's getting caught in no man's land and dies for it, and Shappy guys as well.
Where is everyone?
They're not exploiting the advantage quick enough. Ixie's on the flank and picks up another one, and Kondog, oh my god, he might get caught by Ixie. No, he used, but everyone's already dead, so... Oh, Ixie, and Ixie lives as well. Good, lovely serve.
Could this get any worse?
More medic. This is gonna die.
Oh
no!
Oh.
Also caught in no man's land. Also gets forced as well.
Oh, okay.
Not terrible, but
shimmering hope though. They're not going to salvage this to try and go to land. I don't know why is Bud in there. What are you going to do against an Uber team, my guy?
Bud just surfed in through the top left stairs.
Oh,
Lentis is already in. But I don't know if he was trying to support his team. But 4 people dead. Only a pyro.
I mean,
he's doing really well.
Doing well, yeah.
Actually doing really well, but 3 picks, only medic, even he's not that good, and that's all she wrote.
Well, that was a roller coaster. It's a very interesting sort of push out to mid. I remember seeing like Chappie kind of taking like a blunt force of like 5 witness players, and in my zoomed out perspective, just running around the lighthouse is one of the scouts from Garda. What's going on? I need an action replay for some of this game.
I don't know, man. There's not really too much to analyze there. Like, the Garda just needs to work on simple fundamentals. On King of the Hill, it was getting better in the later rounds. The focus fire was getting better, but they need to like learn to use the map a bit more because they're just getting bullied. The transitions on Sunshine, they were getting so hard pressured. I mean, they did get a super good Menix trade. They got 2 really good Menix trades to try and salvage those moments. But the fact that you got bullied into your lobby before the trade even happened and you were fighting from low ground shouldn't really happen.
Well,
and goddamn, man, someone give Garda glasses because they're just... None of them, I don't think, even know how to open their eyes. Either the monitors aren't on, the eyes aren't open. I don't know. It's ridiculous.
I've got a question for you then, Josh. There's a couple of times we saw glimmers of brilliance from Garda. Do you think this was just luck, or do you think there is actually some like articulate minds at work here, or was it just again just fluked into it?
I'd like to think there's the experience side to there, like not top level like Witness, but there is some Prem. Shappy's played Prem numerous times. Boyd and Mankey have played Prem numerous times. I think Menix first season, KLSC, I think it's like his second or potentially third season. So, it's the stuff I'm picking
There's
them out
potential.
on.
There's a
The stuff I'm
potential.
picking them out on is basic stuff that should not be getting Witness should not get away with.
Is it easy fixable,
But
Josh? If you were a mechanic and you had to come in and fix this team, is this a tough job or is this an easy job?
I mean, if you're a pocket scout and you see that the Witness team is bullied out of chokes on the mid and you have the point presence, surely you just think, I'm just going to sit around my medic instead of running forward. Like that's fix number one. Like just actually observing what's going on. Like they need to follow a game plan. It seems like the game plan is once they get one pick, they just sort of the brains switch off and they just sort of go pilot and try to just run around, but it doesn't work because Silenta's 5 minutes in a row is isolating your medic. So, but I do think there is, because like you said, there was moments of hope.
That bait on second was really nice. That one where they were like, "Oh no, we're giving up the fight," and they like somehow weasel back out and kill these players that overextend just a little bit. It was really nice. I don't really see that too much in Sunshine.
No, not really. But I don't know if you can answer this question for me, but I don't think Garda saw Witnesses last once on this map.
No,
So I
you're
think
right.
that's also a big question mark. There was only one time where Witness was put onto their own second as well, and
Yeah.
that got steamrolled back into a mid push straight away. So
It's a shame because
there
I
is
think that actually it would have been from 5 CPs I saw of week one. They looked pretty good. So and it was more the cough experience that stood out to me tonight. But I know it is witness gaming. It is week two. There's plenty of time to grow. And I mean, do you prefer a team that's just got some glimmers of hope? High ceiling but a low floor, or do you like ones that just have the fundamentals in check going into the season?
it's Prem. You want to have fundamentals at the very least. You want to have just like those fundamentals down. It doesn't matter if they're not perfect because no one's perfect. Like if something happens once or twice, you get wise to it. It's like fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you. That sort of like cliche little line. But fool me 5, 6, 7 times in a row, you know, you got to start asking questions then about your own team. Like, why does this keep happening? But this is like a good experience as well if you're Garda, because you can take these demos away, you can see what was going wrong, and it's not hard fixes.
Yeah.
In reality, it's really not like most like difficult fixes. And the stuff I touched on, is sure I'm giving digs to them. I will admit I've probably been giving them a lot of digs, but
But you're pointing them in the right direction.
like, if they take what I say and apply it, then happy days. If they look at the demos and take their own stuff away and apply it, happy days. Because I do think they could easily be, a pretty stable mid-prem contender team, but there's just a lot of work that needs to be done.
Yeah. Let's wrap it up. Like our fellow caster of the season says. I say fellow. Anyway, if you're just joining us, sadly, you've just missed our week two coverage of Witness Gaming versus Garda. It's ETF2L 6v6 Summer, if you've not been paying attention. It's been me 2 times. Josh has joined me in the caster box, as well as Beta on that production. So don't worry, you can find all this stuff over on YouTube, over onto the Twitch archives, and maybe even some more goodies over on teamfortress.tv. But that's all from us. We'll see you next time.